So, Eimer, how are you doing?
Good, Eimer.
Very
Eimer,
good.
yeah.
Um, so, when did you first get into sports?
Man. My dad was a head football coach at Marmion, so I've been in sports probably since I was like 3 or 4 years old, picking up a basketball and football and baseball. So, yeah, quite a while. Long time.
Nice. Talk about your first football game against East Aurora.
My first varsity one or my first one in
Varsity.
general? My first varsity one, I was a sophomore. We played here. The crowd at an East-West game is just amazing. So I can always remember like looking up and just seeing how many people were there. We won. It was a close game. I can't remember the score off the top of my head, but yeah, it was just a memorable experience. There's nothing like an East-West game. There's no other rivalry in the state like it. So, and as long as it, so it's just very, very special.
Nice. Do you have throughout your West? Can you talk about your favorite memory against East West? Any memorable games?
I think my sophomore year,
Yeah.
just because we had a pretty good team, and it was my first varsity game, and I had, I think, 11 tackles and 2 picks that game. So, that was a memorable way to start it off,
Yeah.
just because I think East was pretty good at that time, and we were pretty good at that time. So, both teams being pretty good and being the first one and having a pretty good game is pretty memorable.
What positions did you play for?
I was a linebacker and a tight end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What did you do after graduating West?
I went on a football scholarship out to a Division II school in Pennsylvania called Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I went and played out there for 5 years. I got redshirted as a freshman, and yeah.
What was your major over there?
Special education. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So I teach in the diversified department here at West Aurora as well as coach football.
Cool.
Yeah.
I understand you have coached at Oswego East High School,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as an assistant football coach and a girls basketball coach, how is coaching different from being an athlete?
Oh, wow. Less control over the situation. You got to trust that your kids are going to do what you coach them to do, and sometimes they don't. And I think that's the hardest thing is your lack of control over, lacking control over things. I think it's better because you can also have control over more people than just yourself, as a coach. But I think that's the biggest difference between playing and coaching is the amount of control, that you don't have anymore, because you're just really, once you get to the sideline, sure, you're going to call some plays and do some things, but you have to rely on, 11 individuals, kids out there, on the field to do, what you ask them to do. So it takes a lot of trust and a lot of preparation.
When did you first hear about the coaching job at West Aurora?
Man, wow. I don't even know. It was my 3rd year at Oswego East. And no, it was my 5th year at Oswego East. I'm sorry. I can't even remember the year now. But, yeah, the job just came open because Coach Strock was finished. And I just decided to put in for it, and there you go.
Sweet. What were some of the main goals you wanted to achieve as the head football coach at West Aurora?
I think the first one is just kind of changing the culture, because we've had a culture of not doing things the right way for quite a while. I think the second thing, obviously, is to make the playoffs, which we haven't done yet. And then, become a team that competes year in and year out for a conference championship and then hopefully a state championship, but you just got to go day by day, and also I think developing a culture where kids want to continue to play when they're done in high school, because that obviously means you're doing something right when they want to continue to play this game in college.
Yeah. You coached against Kurt Becker, right?
Uh-huh.
Talk about the first time you coached against Kurt Becker at East.
I don't remember a lot of it. I remember I was home, a home game. Obviously I've coached against Kurt now 3 times. He's a heck of a coach, heck of a guy, over at East Aurora, doing some great things over there. But I don't recall anything specific, we won and we played pretty well. I think they scored the first touchdown, so I know, they were pretty excited because it was Kurt and it was something new. But, I don't remember a whole lot of things specifically from that game.
Okay. Where do you see this football team in 5 years?
I think, the team, it's hard to say because you don't know what kind of talent you're going to have.
Right.
I think the program, it's going to be kids that like being here. It's going to be kids that understand what it takes. It's going to be kids that put time in the off season. It's going to be kids that do a good job in the classroom, do a good job outside of school, do a good job. I want to continue playing in college. I think it's hard to say, what the team's going to be like because we don't get a recruit. We get what we get. And I hope we're talented in 5 years, but I couldn't tell you, right now where we're going to be at or anything like that. But I hope that our kids have those kind of characteristics, and I want to get better. Yeah.
East and West, longest football rivalry in Aurora, in Illinois.
Yeah.
Why do you think this rivalry is so special?
Just the length, the longevity. I think, obviously we've changed conferences and now come back and, just continuing to play each year and continuing to draw the crowds that we draw, no matter what the record. And then just the strong school pride, at both places. I think, I can't speak for East Aurora, but I can speak on what I see. What I see is that a lot of people, stick around for a long time and root for those Tomcats, and it's the same way here. There's people that don't even have kids in the program that come back every Friday night, and watch us play, and I think that's what makes it so special. All right.
Wait.
Okay.